You are now listening to a proud member of the Disney Podcast family. Go to DizPodcastFamily.com to find more on this show and other great Disney podcasts.
All personnel, clear the launch platform. All personnel, clear launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 119. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, whenever it is you are listening to us. Thank you. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting across from me is former cast member and game changer herself, Jazz.
Good morning.
Oh, threw me off.
Dude, no, don't even. I have a joke, but I will.
You're supposed to say Sunday morning.
Yeah, thank you. Hold on. Give me love right here.
I listened to Rob, Anybody, and Dawn.
And did they clown on her for that?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God, that was freaking hilarious. Anyway, moving on.
All right, the other voice you hear is the Troll Master Puppets himself, Udi.
0.0271, everybody. Nationwide.
Yep. Nationwide. Okay. So this is the Leaving Today podcast. If this is your first time listening to the show, welcome. We think you'll find the water to be warm. If you are a repeat listener, welcome home. We're glad that you were here. Tonight's going to be a good show because we are just going to be spreading the love, talking about good vibes, although we do have some news items to get through. Tonight's opening question, though, as we get the news all coming in, because news is coming in hot and fast, what would the next IP be that you would want Disneyland to acquire?
Acquire?
Yeah.
None.
You have to do something, Udi.
I would say none.
I know, but they have to. They want to buy something really bad, really super bad. And how can they incorporate that into the parks? What is it? While they are listening and coming up with something, tonight's show is sponsored by you, the listeners. And if you would like to do that, you can go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo. We make it super easy. $5, $3, or $1. You can do a one-time payment, or you can do a monthly recurring payment. All that helps to get the show up and running every month, I guess, because we have hosting fees and whatnot. Also, if you'd like to buy a T-shirt, you can do that. And you can get it from tpublic.com/leavingtodaypodcast, or search for the shirt on our website. Oh, Jess, bless you.
Excuse me.
Let me take a moment to tease for Patreon.
Yeah.
New T-shirt is coming for you. Only available for you guys to buy. You know what I'm talking about.
What T-shirt?
The one that we talked about.
Come on.
Oh, there's
that one.
Oh, yes.
That one.
Oh, okay. So what
That
this
one,
is about?
And then that one for like our previous Patreon exclusive, you're going to need to be an avid fan or follower of the show to fully get that shirt.
Yes. So we have a first run of LTP family shirts that went out to Patreon listeners, supporters. We are going to do a next generation of shirts, and we'll see how that goes.
2.0.
2.0. Yeah. So if you'd like to get on the train, we would love that because the water's warm here.
No, like, can you not chew on
Okay, and lastly, if you'd like to help us out a little bit with these algorithms, please go to iTunes and leave us a comment and a rating. We'd love to hear from you. Because, like I said, I get tired of doing that myself. So, just joking. So tonight, besides the news, we are going to talk about our favorite trip memories, and then we actually solicited listeners, and we got quite a few responses. So we are going to share them with everyone tonight, and we're going to talk about them and reminisce, try to get those good vibes back. Yeah, so let's go back to tonight's main question, though. Opening question is, what is the next IP that Disney should acquire, and how could they incorporate it into the parks? Okay, that's good. Good response.
No, I know you want one, but
I don't want one. But I'm trying to make a conversation.
Okay,
no. I don't have one.
Okay, the way.
Well, I see a book back there. Don't you think they could get the Twilight?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
For what?
Twilight.
Oh God, no.
Twilight in the park?
No.
I mean, that sounds like a romantic evening.
It
but
does.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
No.
But you could do that completely themed differently for that.
I really don't have anything.
No,
like that.
and I'm gonna go with they don't need one. They don't need to get one for a while because it'll aid them in what I find to be one of their weaknesses right now, and not creating new IP.
Right.
So yeah, no, I would go no, and I would even go maybe even as far. The better question would be like they need to offload one, and which one would you get rid of? I think that would make a more interesting question.
Let's just go and do that. What should they unload?
You want to know what I think they need to unload?
Absolutely.
The majority of the Fox property. No joke. They bought it, and I'm like, why?
Oh.
Why?
Why not?
I mean, no, I get that, but they didn't need to spend that money. I mean, I know what they were doing. They're buying up everything. But, yeah, the majority of the Fox property, they can be like, bye-bye, Simpsons, whatever. All okay, let them all go. I would have zero problem with that. You get with Fox, you got, like, some of the X-Men and da-da-da. But with Marvel coming, they're pretty much going to work those deals out anyway. Mm-hmm. And with Fox, they got Deadpool and a couple of the IPs. And
Deadpool's not Marvel?
No, it's Fox. Well, it is, but it's under the Fox banner.
Oh, kind of like
that is
Spider-Man
why
was
that is
Sony.
Why they were able to get kind of crazy with Deadpool. And now the rumor is that when Deadpool will pop into the next phase of the MCU, but when he comes in, he's going to be very PG. I'm like, boring.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Okay, no. He is the merc with the mouth.
Yeah.
And when you take the mouth part out, and then he's just a guy. He's hard to kill.
There you go.
So I would go with get the majority of them gone. Don't need them.
Okay.
They don't add anything to the park. Tell me a Fox IP that belongs in the park.
None.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go.
I can't think of anything.
All right.
Well, is ESPN an IP?
No.
Okay.
That's a broadcasting company and a lousy one now.
Yeah, I would say you should.
They used to be really good.
I think that Disney should drop ESPN immediately.
I agree.
Immediately.
I agree.
I mean tonight. I would say you guys are done.
Yeah,
or you guys can go to somewhere else.
If I was in charge, people would be getting their pink slips and be like, "Thank you."
I think that's happening anyways. But since you asked, what IP do I think they should drop?
Right.
Me personally,
Star Wars.
no, not Star Wars.
You know what? If they don't correct, I would begin to lean your way.
No, I'm gonna say.
But I think they're going to correct. I'm being like,
Go ahead.
I'm being optimistic. I hope that the Mandalorian, everything that is rumored to be coming, again, rumor, I'm like, oh my God, they're bringing back like real. But if they don't, I agree. I will be right with you. Like, yeah, let them go be over there and let them regain what made them so freaking fantastic. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, just I guess for me personally, it's just throwing my idea into the hat. I would cut ties with Marvel. I just don't think it belongs at all in any park.
I agree.
To me, Marvel, and this is not a bad comment, but it is a Six Flags-esque type of thing. And I know Six Flags has DC stuff, but I mean, and there's two thoughts here. Yes, acquiring them has brought a lot for the for the cinematic theme of it, yeah, they have done wonders with that, and that's even. I mean, it's been great. But as far as creating attractions and destinations and things, for me personally, I don't care. I would rather DCA become something completely different than what it's becoming.
I could agree with you on that level.
That being said, I am looking forward to going to Adventures Campus and looking at all the theming, but I'm not losing any sleep about doing that.
No.
Okay.
Well, and without going deep dive, it isn't the same animal as Galaxy's Edge at all.
No.
But yeah.
Okay.
No, would you feel differently if they didn't feel the need to incorporate it into the park?
Of course I would.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I would. Like I said, there are a lot of alternatives to DCA that I would love to have them push out.
Oh yeah.
Versus Marvel stuff.
Yep.
But it's here, so I'm gonna make limoncello when I'm giving lemons here.
Heck yeah.
And I'll be the first to say that Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is incredible.
You didn't say that properly.
Oh, it's a million. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
There you go. Thank you.
Although, and it's the last time I'm going to ever bring this up, Tower of Terror was perfectly themed for what was going on.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When and we were deathly afraid of it because we didn't know, and I mean, you got to give them a tip of the hat for Mission Breakout.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's good, but it's like replacing a BMW with an Audi. It's like both are good cars. You're not really gaining much, but and both,
And then I'm going, I'm a Dodge and a Ford, like
sure, okay, whatever. I mean, but you know what I'm saying.
I get your point. I get your point.
Okay.
Yeah, but now we know why. Mm-hmm. It's the anchor.
Yep.
So and got everybody used to the feel of what they were going to move forward with.
Yep, and I think it's going to look great.
Oh yeah, I got faith.
Okay, Jazz, what IP do they need to unload?
Oh, I said Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, you were serious about that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I knew it.
Well, yeah, but they can't go back now. That is a bell that they can't.
Oh yeah, no, that
They
bell.
could.
Well, they could, but then what would you do with the land?
You can do something with it.
It
14 acres.
It could be Lord of the Rings.
Perfect. Done.
No. I although I love that.
Yeah, no.
I was kidding.
I know.
Okay.
I know you were.
All right, so
you would lose your lid if they did that.
Yeah, I've never watched the movies.
All right, so we've got Star Wars, Fox, and Marvel.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So with that, let's go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay, first news item, because we've been doing some crack reporting. This is not on the notes that I submitted. Sorry, actually, I didn't submit it. The LTP has crack reporters all throughout California sending us stuff in. But this happened last week.
And from across the country.
And from across the country, yes. In other countries.
You know who you are.
Yes, you do. And this actually is a small topic thing I want to talk about just real quick. And it was that Disneyland made the harsh decision to lay off live action performers, namely, and they've canceled permanently Mickey the Magical Map and the Frozen. Live Frozen. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we know that has happened, and they said permanent things. So can we talk just a brief moment about the impact of live entertainment at the park and what it brings or what it takes away from your experience there? Jess, why don't you lead us off with that?
It's stupid.
What is stupid? The live entertainment?
No,
Okay.
that they're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The live entertainment queen over here.
Yeah. I mean, so what does it make you feel about it? I mean,
Not want to go?
not want to go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
And to be honest with you, I've never seen Mickey the Magical Map. It's always been on my list to go, but I bet I get lost in the moment there, as we all do. And there's so many other things I'd rather do than that. But I did want to go see it. But one of the I think great things about Disneyland is that you've got so many different things that appeal to so many different people. Some people they love live entertainment, like Jess, and I'm guessing 13 does, and whatever. Many people do. Of course, Sam Carter does too, because he helped with the parades. They didn't talk about the parades though.
No.
But I wonder if some of those people are the same people that no. How does that work, Jess?
Entertainment's the same. I mean,
they're all the same department, right?
But could someone technically be performing and making the magical map in the afternoon, then in the evening go in the parade?
I don't know. To
Okay.
be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I think do you have a thought on this, Udi?
Well, I haven't read that, and
you didn't hear about it?
Yeah, no, I didn't. What is the rationale?
I don't know what the rationale is. It just
they didn't explain. Blah 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 blah.
No,
I can't understand, but I get with the thing we're dealing with right now, how they go, okay, we're going to put a pause on it, but to permanently get rid of it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
why? Why would you do that?
Well, exactly, right? Its importance in your daily routine is not lost on me. I feel bad not only for the art, but for the people that actually like to go and see it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we'll bring it back at some point. But go ahead.
No, I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, are they thinking we're gonna make them run, through 2020 anyway, and now we've had to deal with that, so maybe it was in the books already, and they're like, okay, we're gonna, because we all know that the what is the Hyperion?
Yeah.
They will rotate through different shows.
They've only done 2.
I've watched 2 different ones out of there.
Aladdin and Frozen.
No, out of the Hyperion in that big theater in DCA.
That's where it is.
I watched a big bolero band that was there for
That was probably when they were changing over.
Yeah, so they will do multiple things out of there. So I'm wondering, is it COVID related, or is it scheduling that now because of COVID made it like, well, we're really going to do it now? Or that's why I'm like, okay, how much did COVID play into it?
Right.
Yeah.
And it may have had something to do with it.
Right.
And if it's gone, I hope something comes back.
Yeah.
Because this to me falls under the Phantasmic umbrella. It falls under the Disneyland Band umbrella, and whatever they're doing at the space stage in Tomorrowland Terrace. Yeah. That all to me is essential. I mean, it is essential to me as Big Thunder Mountain is.
Oh yeah. I agree.
It's also seating, and that's what they're.
And that is where I'm going with. Everyone apparently is afraid to sit next to each other now.
You can say goodbye to fireworks.
Yeah, for a while, because you can't have people in. I mean, you're like, there are a lot of things, and I'm wondering again, are they trying to be proactive in trying to get the park open? So it is another point, like, hey, we're trying everything. We're going to give up X, Y, Z, the kitchen sink, my neighbor's kitchen sink to open back up. Is that what's going on?
You can't open the right way, then don't open at all.
I agree.
Uh-oh, Jess.
No,
just threw down the gauntlet.
That
right
is a
there.
mic drop right there, and I'm not gonna disagree.
The only sliver of interest in all this, I mean, one positive note about this that I can think of, and I'm going to stick to the Disneyland side for right now, is that long have we talked about Fantasyland becoming expanded into something else, adding an Arendelle, or adding a Beauty and the Beast dark ride and a Beauty and the Beast something, or something going on with that. And we always point to where can they expand, and the Fantasyland Theater always seems to come up, right? So I'm just thinking, okay, is this what they're doing? Eventually, they're going to get rid of this, so they can use that land for something else. But then again,
it's not that much space, though.
It really the amphitheater isn't?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's that much space.
I agree with her.
Okay.
I mean,
you would know. I mean, you walked back there, right?
You could maybe put a couple, maybe nothing big though.
You couldn't do anything. You could maybe do like Beast Castle if you build up, and that's it. But I mean, you can't do much. It's not that big.
It seems to me like you could fit like
Well, you gotta
two
remember-
Snow White Scary Adventures back there.
You might be able to, but you got to remember that train tracks to your right. They're not going to reroute that again. They're not going to move it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stations right there.
For sure.
And I haven't been back there. I don't know if they have or how much space Galaxy's Edge has now backed up into that for
Sure.
backstage area.
Gotcha. All right, it was just a thought. All right. Well, hopefully we get something back eventually. What is the first news item then, Udi? What is it? I don't even know what's going on. Oh, did you want to talk about that
I don't
one
either.
other
You
thing
guys got me all
real
fired
quick?
up.
What are you fired up about?
About this live performance stuff.
Oh, I think it'll be back.
No, it will. You I don't want to
What?
go. I
They
don't
just
want to go
canceled
to it,
Fantasmic?
Oh no! Then Jess is like, I'll see you in
No, then I'll
2025.
bomb the place.
Yeah, 2025. She was kidding everybody.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay.
No. The other one rumor, a positive rumor, is that
They're dropping Star Wars.
No. Sorry,
Anyways.
let it go. Let it go.
Ooh,
No,
nice.
because now I can't even
Let it
hear that.
go.
I can't even watch them perform
Oh
that.
no, you can't. Oh, I'm sorry.
If
You
they
know,
cancel Fantasmic, life
They-
is over.
Yeah,
will not.
no, they can't. Oh man, they got.
Think about the seating, though. They can use that, too. That's going to be their next. Because that is a live performance.
But okay, I don't want to talk
No,
about
no,
it. Because then I'm going to get mad. I'm trying not to get mad.
No, they'll
You don't
be.
even like Fantasmic.
But it is a point. You see, look, I don't even like it, but I'm going to sit here and fight for you, because you like it.
Well, you're a much better person because
am.
I would get rid of Star Wars.
I know.
Moving on.
Moving
I'm a
on.
better human being.
This is
I know,
accurate.
I know. But the rumor is that Gina Carano, after all the grief that, how can I put it nicely, morons have been giving her for dumb reasons, that the rumor mill is that she may get her own spinoff with Bo-Katan. Now, for all of the listeners who know what I'm talking about, and you care, you may have gotten a little bit happy if you hadn't heard that. I am extremely happy at the possibility, even though it's rumor at this point.
Okay.
So with that said, take the rumor with a grain of salt. It could be a fanboy in the dark corner of the internet going, woo! Yeah, that was me. Anyway, but yeah, that is a rumor. As I hear more, I'll go on, and if you follow me on my Instagram, I will, if that ever gets verified, I think I'll do a massive post for a while, every 30 minutes. Because Gina Carano is an amazing person. Again, I've said it before, and you guys need to follow her on Instagram. If you do not, you need to. Mark, do you?
No, I don't follow her.
Mark, you need to follow her.
Okay, the LTP will follow her.
Yeah. And
Problem.
then Jess won't, but Jess will hate her anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
What everybody misses, Jess, quite, what was the word? Excitedly nodding, yeah.
Okay, well, the first news item is Space Mountain movie in development at Disney for theatrical release. Jess hates it automatically.
Stupid.
Really?
Oh, yes.
First-
what?
The first Haunted Mansion, now this. It seems Disney is working on yet another attraction-based film, this time themed to Space Mountain. The film, set for a theatrical release, is being written by Joby Harold, currently writing and executive producing the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars series for Disney. The venerable ride is getting the movie treatment with the studio hiring Joby Harold. He did a couple other shows besides Star Wars stuff. Okay. Well, it seems that with the upcoming Tron Light Cycle run attraction coming to Walt Disney World, just adjacent to Space Mountain and Tomorrowland, bringing focus to the ride by way of big screen movie, along with the rumored Tron sequel, is a great way to advertise. Given that the project is still in early stages, we hope there will be plenty of time for movie theaters to bounce back in time it debuts.
Stupid.
I can't see this being any good.
How could it be?
Okay. How many people poo-pooed Pirates?
That's a completely different ballgame.
Why?
Because it's freaking pirates. You can do so much more with pirates. There's a storyline already to it.
Okay.
Okay? Space Mountain. You got a black hole.
Okay.
Yes, you can create and work around it more and make it a story. But if they put aliens or some weird crap into it, it's going to be lame. You don't see anything in the ride. So how do
You see a giant cookie.
You do see a giant cookie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about a giant cookie. Maybe it's about people that try to get fast passes for Space Mountain and they
I
can't.
mean, that might be it.
That would be quite a harrowing tale.
I just don't see how it could be any good.
I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna go negative on it. I'm hoping that they're okay. Positive, negative. I'm hoping that it is a good IP. I'm hoping that it is well received because I think if it is, I think we will get a full redo of Tomorrowland much quicker if it is.
You mean like how they sent
They
out
want-
the Tomorrowland movie and it flopped?
Flop. And they kind of went, okay, well, nobody cares. And then why are we going to invest? They, for better or for worse, they have equated. They've equated box office to park. And I'm like, I don't know why you do that, but they do. And that is what happens when they do that. You get things delayed or put in the back burner because they somehow think that the two equate.
They don't.
And they don't.
Right.
But what are you going to do? So knowing that Disney has a history of doing that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to cheer for it. I'm going to be a little guy in the background going, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it is good, well received, and then I can get my Tomorrowland back again.
Yeah, that's
in 20 years.
No, it'll be less than 20 years.
It'll be 10.
10 years for
19.
15.
Yeah, I think probably 15 years is how it's going to be.
But yeah.
And then they have the Explorer Canoes movie coming up after this. That's going to be great.
Oh no, you can't. Well, you can't even make a movie like that of the Pioneer anymore.
No, you
Pioneer.
can't. You can't. That's racist to do that, I think. Right?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Next news item. Udi, what is it?
Next one is the contacting furloughed workers. That one, cast members.
Oh, okay. What does it say? Oh, yeah.
No, I'll let you cover that one. I'm gonna jump down one that Benedict Cumberbatch to reprise role as a Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 3.
That's that a good thing or bad thing?
I love that.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a very versatile, outstanding actor. I love him as Doctor Strange. He plays that character quite perfectly in my mind. And he is I'm wondering how the new movie that when they finally make it, In the Mouth of Madness, is going to come off and play. But I'm glad. We need to bring that character and give him a little bit more love. He's a fun character. I like him.
Oh, good.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too. Disney now contacting furloughed cast members not affected by layoffs. After weeks of heartbreaking news, it seems Disney is now contacting select furloughed cast members to inform them they have not been impacted by the mass layoff. So it just went on to say that they haven't been impacted. I'm not sure why that was a news item, but maybe it was slow news.
No, I mean, you want to make... For people who, I mean, that is more of a thing of like, okay, how are they talking to their people? Mm-hmm. And they are, and I'm glad they are.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, a big complaint that some people made against Disney is it's become impersonal, and they don't take care of their CM. So,
Accurate.
And there you go. So it is a criticism and a fair one. So the fact that they are doing that, in my opinion, good. Hopefully the people at the top now are beginning to remember what makes the park and the company great. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, and that was actually the news. Except Udi did want to talk about something real quick, right? He talked about Disneyland wanting to push back a little bit.
Yeah, it appears that, and I'm not going to go too far into it. We went into a nice heated debate a little bit last episode, and for everybody, all of our listeners, we don't. I'm going to go here real quick. We don't want to make. We're all kind of a little bit frustrated with the situation. Jess has brought up the point, and she brought up in the last show and subsequent conversations that it's kind of tiring, and we're kind of over it, and we're all kind of frustrated that it's kind of permeated into what we do here at one level, and we can't. How do we address a massive issue without letting it take over? So we're gonna try to, I guess, pivot a little bit, and we're gonna address it because I think everyone knows pretty clearly where we stand. And until there's a big thing to talk about, we're gonna kind of have to go like, okay, here's the latest, and move on from it. Just feel like if not, we may begin to drag everybody down. We don't want to do that. So that is what I want to tell everybody. So we're not going to become the woe is me. Everything's terrible. We hate, we're mad at the park. We're mad at everybody.
Right.
But anyway, Disney is beginning to, in my opinion, push back against the closure and the fact that the government here in the wonderful state of California,
the Golden State, is not wanting to or looking like they are not in any hurry to try to open one of the biggest entertainment sectors in the state and a huge part of the economy for whatever reason. And so Chapek, even though I'm not a fan of him, he is beginning to push back against the government and kind of being like, hey, that we need something here. And what the government, the state of California is doing is, as Chapek is, quote, arbitrary, and they're not really following their own kind of guidelines. Mm-hmm.
So to me, with everything going on with the city of Anaheim, Disney, and different aspects of the surrounding area beginning to kind of unify, I feel like that the fight is now coming from multiple venues and multiple people and multiple sectors to get it open again.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the government and to push back. And I'm 1 million, you guys know I'm 1,000,000% behind this. They need to fight. And we brought it up last episode, Jess and I kind of both had the feeling that Disney wouldn't. We kind of, like, even though I felt like they should, Jess brought up the point, like, I don't think they are, and I kind of had, like, yeah, I don't think they are either. But we could be wrong, and the fight could be on. And I'm glad to see it. That's pretty much it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, well said. I can't disagree with that because everything I think you said is correct. And we could belabor the point, but that's not where we're going tonight.
Nope.
All right. So that is going to wrap up tonight's news. 101 with Jess is dark tonight, but do feel free to enjoy the other attractions and the LTP. And with that, let's go to the feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Well, here we are with a feature presentation tonight.
Yay.
Yeah, so this is a good moment in LTP history because one of the things we like to do. Now, I don't want to call out any other podcasts at all about doing stuff, but I can tell you that one of the things that makes this show a little bit different, or the LTP different, than most podcasts I listen to regarding Disney, and I listen to probably 7 or 8 different ones, is that we seem to have a connection with our audience. And I am... and we encourage audience participation. In fact, we seek it out.
Yeah.
And so this isn't just like the LTP is not a monologue. It is very much a dialogue between us and you. And I want it to be that way. I want to hear people talk about thoughts, talk about stories, share their thoughts, and I encourage that, and it helps make this show better.
And to add to that, anytime we get, anybody kind of communicating with either me or Jess or Mark or however, we pass that if, we talk about it amongst ourselves, all obviously off mic. But we do, and we love it. Every time we get anything, we are like, how cool is that? Mm-hmm. How cool is that? And we're really, really, really appreciative of every interaction, every kind of conversation that we have. And we're glad that you take the time to interact, because I follow a lot of people, and I hardly interact with anybody. And for many reasons, but I do rarely, but I do. And so a lot of it is time. Like, I don't have time to answer. I don't want to, whatever, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
But we appreciate every time you interact with each of us individually and as the collective of the LTP. So
yes.
Yeah, we thank you very, very, very much and appreciate it.
Yeah. So this actually might be a two-parter. I'm teasing it because I'm still waiting on a few other people. But we're going to go through this one tonight. And we've got, 13, 14 people. But there's a few other people that I'm waiting on. I don't want to spoil it yet. But so we're talking about what is your favorite memory or favorite trip that you did, and what made it special. And we're just going to share those with you guys and share them with everyone else who brought them in, so that everyone can hear. Now, us being on this side, we have the advantage of actually adding as much as we want to talk about, because I know it's hard to come up with one or two things. Mm-hmm. So I guess through the course of this, we'll say a couple different things. At least I will, because I know I've got a couple memories that stand out greatly for me. Mm-hmm. Do you start with the listeners first? Do you want to start with ours first?
You know the rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. Okay, so tonight's first story is coming from Ken. So let's go see what Ken has to say.
What is up, LTP? This is Ken. Hope you guys are all doing well. So I got a couple memorable moments. It was 2018. The family decided to take a trip down to the Disneyland Resort. I kind of decided to propose to my longtime girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I reached out to the LPT crew. They threw up some suggestions on what to do, where to do it, how to do it, and everything. So I took their info and their suggestions and pulled out the old Disney map and went, aha. She's a big fan of Tinkerbell. So as we're cruising through down Main Street, we kind of walk over to the Pixie Hollow area, and the daughter was in on the proposal, so she causes a distraction, and next thing, my wife turns around, and I was down on one knee, and the rest is history. The other memorable moment's going to be 2019. First time we've ever went to Disneyland during the holiday season. Absolutely memorable. The emotions, the feelings, the way that place transforms is absolutely amazing. Being scrap metal people ourselves, we took a trip to the planet of Batoon, not knowing anybody on this planet. We ran into a couple people that we actually kind of knew. I believe their names were Udi and Joey. So that made that a huge memorable moment that sticks in my mind on all the time, to meet two podcasters in this faraway planet. I'd like to give a shout out though to the cast members, because my memories wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them and all the hard work that they put into this experience at Disneyland. You know, as the saying goes, the Jungle Cruise is just a boat in the jungle without the skipper. So shout out to the cast members, present, future, past, that, you guys really make this experience well worth walking through those gates. And I just can't say thank you enough for making my memories by giving me such a great experience. Well, guys, I hope you guys take care. Hopefully we can get over this pandemic or whatever it is now, and we can get this frozen Jack and this Coke and all this stuff going on that we said that we were going to do, that we just keep turning down trip after trip, and we can finally get together. You guys take care, and we'll talk to you later.
Well, how about that, Ken?
Oh man, hey, Ken, I want to say thank you again for coming up and saying hi, because it would have been easy for, like we're just rolling through. I mean, thousands of people, and definitely one of the most special things in my mind was meeting you, and where we met. I mean, we're right there. Right before, you're going to go and make a saber, we're kind of chilling in a very chill area. And I tell you what, man, I don't know. I see Joe every week. We don't work together anymore, but we do our other podcast. And for every time we bring it up, he and I both kind of go, man, how cool was that? So I'm incredibly thankful for you. And believe me, meeting you is one of the highlights. It is one of the things that I never thought in my life that I would ever be in, like Disney, walking through and like being recognized as a podcaster and being like, hey, I know you. And like, whoa, that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
And every time we have that happen, we all kind of go like, we all take a step back, because I don't think any of us are ever going to get used to that. But anyway, thank you, man. Meeting you is one of the definite highlights of mine. It actually is one of mine. And the other thing is, I'm glad we're able to help you with the proposal.
Yeah, although I think I remember saying you should do it at Rancho with a mouthful of enchilada.
I think you you might have said that.
So maybe he didn't listen to my advice.
No. Yeah, but anyway.
No, that's very, very touching and moving, and
I couldn't agree more with the sentiments to the CMs. Yeah, I agree. We all agree.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So
Thank you for that, man.
Thank you so much for that. Now let's go over. Where should we go next? Oh, how about let's go to Seth?
Oh, what up, Seth?
Hi, LTP. This is Seth.
Hey, Seth.
I wanted to respond to your question about what my favorite trip to the park was. It's kind of hard. They're a lot of them blend together, but there is one that sticks out in my mind. But first, I want to give the honorable mention for the time I got to go with the whole LTP crew and ride the first day of Rise of the Resistance.
How cool.
It was an epic day, and I'll never forget it.
Epic.
But
Epic day.
And actually my favorite trip was the time that I went, and it was actually raining like off and on all day. So it kind of goes into last week's topic. But yeah, I'd rather have the rain than the heat.
Yeah.
If it's over like 85, I won't even go.
Oh, sad.
But, so it was raining that day, and I had a lot of trouble talking my family into going. But they finally said, okay, because we already had a hotel and all that. They said, okay, we'll go. So the week before, I just bought a bunch of ponchos, so we'd have plenty of ponchos. And we went to the park, and it was one of the more memorable days at the park. It's when my daughter was finally old enough to really, really enjoy more facets of the park, meaning like she could ride on basically everything. And we got to some character meetings, and because it was raining off and on, the park was dead, and there was nobody there. I mean, there's so few people that we got sick of riding the same rides over and over again. But one part of the story that was very funny, we were riding the Incredicoaster, and it was not raining at the time, and we start riding, and about 3/4 of the way through the ride, it started pouring down rain. And when you're going that fast, it feels like you're getting hit with rocks in the face. And of course, when it rains, they stop the ride. So as soon as we got to the end, before you go under the covered part, they stopped the ride, and then just dumped on us for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and we all got completely soaked. But it wasn't that big of a deal because we had a great time. I mean, having the park basically to yourself for a day is always a great thing, even if it's raining. You got to think, even if it's raining, it's Southern California. It was like 70 at least when it was raining. So we didn't really get cold. It was just a good time. And it was in September, so it was a good time of year to go. And I believe that was also the same trip where we got to see Carrie Underwood warm up on Tom Sawyer's Island for a concert she was having for a group that, was closing down the park for the evening. I really think it's a good thing you guys bringing this topic up, thinking of fond memories of the park, because it's something I've really missed. I've only been going frequently, probably for the last 5 or 6 years, and I really, really miss not being able to go whenever I want. Just the other day, somebody posted something on Facebook. It was a video of the electrical parade, and I sat there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna click on this, just for some memories' sake. And I pull it up, and my daughter hears the music. Caitlin comes running over to me, and she's like, Dad, what is that? I said, that's the electrical parade. Do you remember? And she's like, yeah, I remember. She's all, that's not fair. I said, what do you mean, what's not fair? She's all, how come those people get to go to the Disneyland and we don't get to go?
Oh.
I said, no, they're not going. It's not open. That's an old video from a long time ago. She says, well, I don't understand. How come I can go to school, but I can't go to Disneyland? And I said, don't worry, we're going to go as soon as it opens. She's all, well, can we go the first day it opens? I said, if I can, yes, we will go the first day it opens. Maybe someday soon King Newsom will, stop playing politics and let people go back to work and let people enjoy their lives again. I really enjoy the show. Thanks for doing it. And thank you very much for the shirt. I wear it with pride. I've actually had a couple people run into me and ask me what the "Hey Kitty Kitty" on the back means. And I said, Pirates of the Caribbean, and about half of them usually understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, cool.
So have a great day. Bye.
Yeah, Seth. Again, as Udi said, that was one of my highlights too. January 17th, 2020. But that's a really good story about Incredicoaster.
Yeah. I think we've all ridden it at one point with rain. I have.
I know I have, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, Jess, have you?
What?
Ridden Incredicoaster or...
California Screaming.
Yeah, California Screaming in the rain?
No.
Never?
No.
It hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, you're totally welcome for the shirt, Seth. And those are some great memories. And yeah, if you can go, but on the first day it opens, please let us know how it is.
And again, we're going back. I mean, talking to Ken, and definitely the same applies to you, my friend. Meeting you, definitely another trip. I mean, highlighted by what we were there for, and we got in and be able to share that with you, and being a great listener that you are, was awesome, man. And I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad that we were able to meet and hang out for as long as we did, and we pretty much all day, and that we were able to share that with you. And yeah, man, if you can make it that day, I don't know. I'm fighting my inner demons back and forth with that, but yeah, we're all ready for the park. We are. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. We have a couple new listeners here. Not listeners, but new that we've never brought up before. And so the first guy we're going to talk to right now is Michael Disney. And he does Disney EDM music, and he's going to be on the show at some point, I guess.
Okay, cool.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, you've mentioned him before.
Yeah, I think he knows Joey or something. He mentions Joey. Was he part of this universe at some point? Okay, anyways, here we go.
What's going on, Living Today podcast? What's up, fellas? What's up, Jess? It's that time again in the evening to get those drinks and to get that water. And time for another podcast, how we do it. Well, of course, if you don't know by now, and of course for all you guests, myself is Michael, a.k.a. Michael Disney, DJ Michael Disney, for some of the other Living Today podcasters who love my tracks, and I appreciate it. And, of course, I go by Michael Disney in the parks. I host unofficial events at Disneyland and DCA for 6 years. And a lot of people know me by that mostly as well. Just to drop some memories, because you know what? Technically, I really can't say one. And the reason why is because I make a lot of magic in the parks, and they're just so many ways and so many. It's just really hard to break it down. But one of my favorites is just to host unofficial events. You know what I mean? It's something extra to look forward to in the parks. It's like something like, Halloween, Christmas time, any holiday or just something grand that you're pumped to go. You have the day off, you got your money ready, you jump in that car, you head to the parks early and you're there. It's not you're not there for the rides and the same old entertainment and food and all that. No, but it's just like a special engagement inside the park, just like Disneyland has they're doing their little wannabe unofficial events, official events as you want to call it. But yeah, for me doing awareness for autism, that is one of my grand moments where I've had a 600 to maybe close to 1,000 at one time.
What?
In the parks representing awareness for autism. Because the parks, the higher ups and the employees don't really teach a lot of the cast members more in depth about awareness about autism and how, we've seen a lot of meltdowns in the park. Some cast members understand and some just don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And so we bring awareness for the last 4 years. And of course, last year was the last year. And because, just complications with security, higher ups, and just multiple things that we just had to end it. And but that's one of my major highlights. I miss doing I run a Star Wars Day at Disneyland, and because of Galaxy's Edge, aka myself, Star Wars Land, and it'll always be Star Wars Land to me. But I have not yet done an event since the land is open. Everybody has done their little meetups here and there, but they just don't know what's coming. And we were supposed to set for May the 4th and Star Wars Celebration, which was very much disappointment.
Oh, yeah, huge for me.
Another thing that I'd like to share is one of my friends in my Disney group, which I run, of course, a Disney group. Disneyland, it's a big family. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and join if you want. If not, I follow. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But one of my original members, every holiday, Valentine's, no matter what it is, they go all out and buy a grip of little treats, stickers, snacks, anything that they can, full cart load. Let's just give an instance for Easter. They buy tons of eggs and put like Disney stickers and little things here and there. The security ones are security twos, which says they're caught at the gate. But, they were cool with it, and they went everywhere they went in the park just handing cast members eggs.
Oh, cool.
And because of little things like that, I like to go with them and do little things like that. And cast members are really appreciated. Yes, some don't want to take it, maybe because of the rules or just for some reason, or they just feel like they don't want to get in trouble. But a majority of the cast members, even if they don't accept it, they thank you, and it'll be a huge smile. And, just giving an extra brighter step and just an extra step of cheeriness for our cast member. Maybe that one had a bad day and a rude treasure guest, or maybe it was a pass hole. And that could have made a big difference in the rest of their day in driving home. And knowing that we, as pass holders or guests, mostly pass holders, made a difference in the cast members' day to go home happy and know that that's why they do what they do. And cool. Finally, the one I really miss, and because, like I said, I do unofficial events and all kinds of things in the park, and know a lot of Facebook groups, podcasts. Used to be Miles Pyre, shout outs to them. All Aboard, shout out to them. Disney Universe Podcast, The Mando Show, love it.
Thank you.
Good.
Hey now.
Gotta get some crazy Mandalorian music. I'll probably have to give you a track.
Oh,
but
yeah, please.
Yeah, you guys are representing, giving us the feel of the park still. Keeping everything going. Like I said, I appreciate you fellas, and of course you Jess representing. I can't wait for the Jungle Cruise game, because I seen the picture and that thing looks pretty crazy. So I'm looking into that. Hopefully somebody makes a YouTube video, because I want to check that out. But beyond that, like I said, there's just tons of things I can say. But in the end, it's all about going that extra step that you normally won't do. And sometimes, you just, forget about the kindness of others and, all like that. But I miss going into the parks, sharing kindness, being kind. No matter if somebody's rude or steps on my foot or whatever, I just let it go because I'm always at the parks. I'm always going to deal with that. But just the little things here and there that I miss, truly miss in the parks. But the people, the cast members, the leads, the YouTubers making videos, I could just go on and on and on and on and on. But in the end, you know, I do appreciate you guys leaving Today podcast for still keep going because some podcasts are not going and some are just trying to figure out what to do and hopefully the parks come back. But I appreciate that you guys are back and for me to enjoy it. And of course, like I said, more information on myself. I said Michael, aka Michael Disney. I do, of course, I'm known for making Disney EDM and DJ mixes, which are hard to find. You can find them at Mixcloud/Koeib, Koeib. You can follow me on Facebook at Michael Disney. Remember, when that's Disney, Dizney. You know, I don't want to get copyrighted. But like I said, yeah, go ahead and follow me. Enjoy the Living Today podcast. Show them some love. Definitely, like they always say, go ahead and drop a like, comment. Ratings make a big difference in the algorithms. And a lot of times, they just really need to show the love because people just go and find podcasts and read the comments to see what they can expect before even listening. So show some love. I appreciate you, gentlemen and Jess. And I'm out. Peace.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. First
you,
off, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, where did you come from?
I know.
So he's got some crazy energy that we need to connect with him when we're down at the park next.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How cool is it that every time we say we're going to go to the park, we get people that want to show up?
Yeah.
We have to have dinner. I'm looking forward to having dinner with Jacob.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing Fernando.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing this cat now.
Yep.
Michael. And who else? Seth shows up.
Yep.
And gosh, it's
Don't
okay.
forget the OG Patrick.
Patrick's on the other side of the country now. Yeah, but if he comes back, we're going to do it. But okay, he does a lot of cool things that next time he has something like that and we have an advance notice, Michael, one of us or three of us or two of us will come down for these events because I want to see what this is all about.
Yeah. Well, and I agree, and I think the one thing that he hit on and his main drive through all of that is the one thing that we all unify, and he brought it up is being nice and bringing goodness in, and we make that argument. That is why we need the park, and so Michael, you said it perfectly in my mind that is what you miss, and that is what we miss out of the park. You're like so spot on when people make the argument like, oh, it's only entertainment. I'm like, no, it isn't just entertainment.
Right.
It is about being goodness, and the fact that you take the time with people and you go and you try to give it back to the CMs, it creates this bond and this circle. It's like a circle of just love and happiness around each other. That is what the park is. And, dude, that is so cool that you do that. Amazingly cool. I love the fact that you would do the thing, awareness for autism.
Yes.
I don't think there is enough of that. I agree. And the fact that you would do that and take the time and do all these different things is amazing, dude. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for the shout out, and thank you for everything. And yeah, and like Mark said, we need to talk. We need to maybe hang out if we're down there or whatever. We got to figure that out.
And maybe you can create some music for your Mando show.
That is the other thing, too. Thank you for the shout-out for the Mando show. I appreciate it. Hit us up there, man. I think you listen all aboard and DU, so you know Joey. And Joey runs all the social out of there. So you've been talking to him or whatever. Or you can follow me, too. I don't know if you follow me on mine. But, yeah, dude, yeah, I would appreciate it. And then, yeah, anything you want to throw and give us permission to use, man, I would be more than happy to throw on there.
Right on.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time to record that, Michael. That was awesome. Okay. Where should we go next? Oh.
We're only 3 in, man, and I'm like pumped already. I'm like super excited already.
Okay, let's see where this one takes us.
Hey guys, it's Lynn from the Sweep Spot podcast.
Lynn.
Hey Lynn.
I have a story I wanted to talk about. Happened, oh boy, now maybe 10 years ago? No, about 8. And we live in Utah now. I don't work at Disneyland anymore. Don't get to go as often. No one does lately. But, but don't normally get to go that often, maybe a couple times a year, maybe twice, 3 times a year. But this happened maybe a little while ago. And my son, he's 13 now, but at the time he might have been, I don't know, like 5 or 6, somewhere in there. Maybe even 4. But he, we stayed at the, not the Grand, Paradise Pier Hotel. And we were, back when it was a little more affordable, at least it seemed like it. And we got there and it was just rained. It was just pouring rain. And I don't mind rainy days at Disneyland. In fact, sometimes they're kind of fun because there's not as many people in the park. But, after a day of that, it just kind of gets old. I mean, it was all day. There was no breaks, just pouring rain. And we had him in a stroller. And we had our ponchos on, and he was protected in the stroller. And, how it is. Everything gets wet. I mean, you sit in a seat on a ride, it's wet. You sit, just your poncho gets torn. It's just, as the day goes, it kind of wears on you. And you try to have a good time. And it got to a point, it was maybe like 4 o'clock or something, and we had been there since opening. And I just said, we got to go back to the hotel and dry off. And we did. And where we were staying in the hotel, they upgraded us for some reason. Probably not very many people there or something, but we were in the concierge area where they have this place where you can rent movies for free. And they had free breakfast and snacks all day. If you want a drink, you just walk up to this room, and they had all these Disney movies, and we rented a DVD and for free, and we watched, I think it was Dumbo, and we watched that and dried off. And there's just something about that trip that I remember, because the next day we were thinking, it's not supposed to rain. It was pouring again all day long. War on us again. But you know what? That third day, it started off rainy, and I went, oh no. And the sun just came out, and it was amazing. And there's something about having to go through all that, and then to finally at the end, it's nice, sunny. Because it rained in the morning, it scared some people off. So it was not very crowded. It was a beautiful day. And I just look back at that trip and think, probably had a lot to do with my son being young, and, now he's getting a little older. But just the innocence that he had then going on some of these rides. We used to watch YouTube videos of the rides. And he's like, I want to go on this and go on that. He's just getting, I think that was probably the first trip that he went on Big Thunder Mountain. I think he was 4 or 5 years old. It's crazy. I probably wouldn't have done that at that age. But anyways, one of my favorite trips that I remember. And so thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for doing everything you're doing. Hang in there, and we'll talk with you another time. Bye.
Lynn from the Sweep Spot podcast. Always a gentleman. Always cool that he chimes in and does this. I feel honored that he takes time out to do this.
Yep.
Great story about the rain and about your son and how your child and that time that your child is. That's going to be part of one of my good memories that I'm going to share about that as well. But yeah, I understand about the hotel and being rain and being stuck in there, and I never had concierge level, so I can't relate to that. But yeah, cool story about the rain and persevering through the end of your trip, because that last day kind of made up for it. But great memories. I'm glad you shared that, Lynn. And,
thank you.
Yeah, dude. Anytime you want us to be on your show, we will happily do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over. We're going to go with Jacob. This is Jacob here in Sacramento, not Jacob, Southern California. Wondersmack. So this Jacob here. So what does he have to say?
Hey, everybody at Leaving Today podcast.
What
How
up,
y'all
Jacob?
doing?
What up?
Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Hope
It's
all
been a
is
minute,
well,
yeah.
and hope that we can all get together again soon and stuff. Maybe for a game night or
Yeah.
do our own trivia, whatever.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
But
Pizza and
anyway,
beer. We
so,
haven't done that in a while.
when I was asked the question for favorite Disney parks trip, favorite moment, honestly, I don't know how people could put that down as one specific trip or anything. I got favorite moments, and yeah, I just don't know how you could put it down as one. So I guess I could probably just give a few of them, and here we go. So number one would probably have to be, it was back in 2015, and I went with my coworker, who's now practically pretty much a brother to me now. Him and his whole family and stuff. But they were going on a trip there, and they invited me and pretty much welcomed me into their family. And it's just been, we've gone practically every year now since, and except for this year. But that would have to be probably my one of my favorite trips, and just getting to like experience it with them and their kids and their I think his parents and stuff were there too and everything. So it was cool just getting to enjoy it with all of them, and just with the relationship that I've come to have with all of them, and how Disney has pretty much helped make that and stuff. The Disney parks. So another great trip. It was an awesome moment. It was me and my buddy Joey and our friend Christy, and they were actually supposed to leave that night, and I was still there for like another whole week almost, but they decided to stay, and luckily we had a cool experience where we got to see when they brought back Fantasmic, and we got to actually get picked by a cast member. Just came up to us and said, hey, can you guys follow me? And we did, and she sat us down in some of the front seating areas and got to watch it in kind of like a VIP section.
Huh.
So, and lo and behold, too, we found out that we actually were sitting in front of John Stamos, which we didn't even get a picture or anything with him, but it was like cool because it was like, oh my gosh, he was there. And so that was a cool experience, and I was glad I was able to get to do that with Joey and Christy, and but every trip to Disneyland, Disney parks in general is always great, and but I'd have to say out of some of my favorite moments, those are some of my favorite and most memorable moments, and just with my buddy Brian and his whole family and everything, and then my friends Joey and Christy. Those would be what I would have to say is my favorite times, and most memorable and mean the most to me. So thanks, guys. Hope you're all well again, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jacob, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm happy. I'm happy we're hearing all these. You know what I mean? This is what we need. I think right now.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it is kind of therapeutic, and it's been a minute. I mean, you don't live far, and I don't know when was the last time we had
trivia.
You didn't make it. We went. We went. Didn't we go to pizza?
That was after.
Oh, it was after. Okay. So yeah, but it's been a minute, and we miss you too, man.
Very much.
And we hope that we can get the gang back together, and man, It's very cool. I don't think I've heard of that story. Maybe you guys told me the story and I forgot it, but that is a cool story. I didn't know, or it's not ringing any bells that you sat in front of John Stamos. Now I got to ask Joey, like, hey, did you ever tell me that? And I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Which can't happen. I forget.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that's cool, man.
Yeah. We got to always go to the parks with these people. I always say that, you know. You got to add him to the list of someone I want to go to the park with, too. Yep. Yeah. He's just a nice guy. Always.
You know, maybe when we're all ready, I think we need to organize, like, you know how we did our trip to the museum?
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think we need to try to do that for the park.
Okay.
We are going. We're all, and then put a date, like, months down the road and let everybody prepare and, like, kind of do a... I think it'd be great.
Sure.
I think it would be great if we could manage to get as many people as we could down there on one day when everybody's ready. I mean, because I don't know if everybody feels the way that we do about it, you know, and to be respectful for everybody's opinion on it. But yeah.
Yeah, when we feel it can accommodate the most people, and this,
I think we'll feel it. I think we will. But I think that'd be cool. I know you guys tell us what you think, but I think that would be cool.
Absolutely think so too. Okay, so we are gonna go to Hawaii.
Hi guys, this is Laura. I'm calling to answer the question about a trip that stood out in my mind. And honestly, there really is one trip that stood out in my mind, even though I was a cast member way back in the day from, I think, 91 to 93. I've been so many times, you know, as a little kid and growing up. But I had gone after September 11th. The flights were really cheap from Hawaii to California. So I went back to see some friends, and we went to Disneyland. And so that was in 2001. And I wasn't back at Disneyland until 2012. So that's a really long time. But in that time, I had kids and different things happened. I went to nursing school. So finally in 2012, my daughter was 18 months old and my son was 4. And we finally made it back to Disneyland. It was my kid's first time. It may have been my husband's first time. And so I was so excited about going. I actually got an official guide, and I read all about, especially the chapter where it talks about going with kids and, you know, expectations with children. And I studied up. I hadn't been in so long. I didn't know anything about California Adventure. I'd never been over there. And I decided, okay, going into this trip, especially with the 1.5-year-old, I'm just going to go with the flow. You know, I've been on most of the rides myself countless times. So it's just going to be, we're just going to cruise and have a nice time. And then whatever rides we get on. And whatever rides we don't get on, it's fine. And we had 2 days planned. And I remember we got to the Esplanade, and I almost started crying right then and there. Just being back there after 10 years. I really, sunglasses on so my husband wouldn't be like, what in the world is wrong with you? But I almost started crying just being there on the Esplanade after all that time. And then the 2 days in the park were just amazing. Like, just seeing the look on my children's faces. Even my daughter at 1.5 years, you know, people always say, oh, they won't remember it. Yeah, maybe she doesn't, but we have amazing pictures. And even in the pictures, I look back on it now, and you can see the sheer joy on her face. We just had so much fun. And because I went into the trip with really low expectations about, you know, how much we would actually do, it was perfect. We had family and friends that came and joined us on the 2 days, and it was just so much fun being in the park that time and watching my 1.5-year-old's expressions, like with all the characters. We did character dining too, and that was the best idea I could have had. And my son at 4, it was his first time, and, you know, proved himself to be a little thrill seeker. He just wanted to go anything that was slightly scary. He was like, again. And it was just the best trip ever. And we've gone a couple more times. I think my kids have been 4 times total now, which, considering how far away we live, is pretty good.
That's really good.
And we were supposed to be there this week. Thank you, COVID. But we were supposed to be there this week. And every other trip has also been amazing. But that one trip just stands out as, the best ever. Just seeing my kids, seeing the place I love so much and how much joy they got from it made it all the better. And now we're going to reschedule till next October, so I have to wait another year. I'm so sad, but so still no Rise of the Resistance for me. But there's the answer to the question. The best trip was, I think that was May of 2012. All right, I love you guys. Keep it up. You guys make me so happy. I love your podcast. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Well, Laura, first off, you're welcome. And actually, thank you for all your work that you do. That you mentioned that you went to nursing school. I'll just tell you, I'll tell the listeners, I'm not going to give too much away, but she works in Hawaii she works in the ER as a nurse there. And this is us applauding you for that job.
Of course, yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I honestly can't imagine how you do that, but I'm admiration is
I have friends, good friends, and loved ones of others that are first responders. And what you guys do every day, our society doesn't function without you.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for the kind words. Yeah, thank you for the extremely kind words. And I kind of wanted when you were describing as you hit the esplanade and how you're basically overtaken with emotion, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, I think that is going to be a lot of people coming up when we go back. I think we're all going to be hit with a level of emotion that I don't think anybody's going to be ready for.
I agree. I agree with that.
And I feel you because I tell you what, as I'm listening to your story, I kind of got a little choked up over here in the corner because that is one of the things that is connects us and binds us all. Is that emotional connection to there and what it brings for everybody. So thank you for sharing that. That is very cool. I mean, very moving. And I think we're all going to be there. I will go right here and I'm anticipating me basically reacting like I did when I walked into Galaxy's Edge and maybe even more. I'm thinking maybe even more. The impact of what we're going through, I don't think we fully know how much it's affecting us, but we think we do. But until we're there again and we're walking and we're doing what we love to do, and hopefully all together,
that's very well said. And the first time I listened to that, I got chills as well thinking about that because I can relate to what you're saying. And great story. Gosh, now I want to go with all these people and experience that. So she says she's going to go next October. I plan on
October, maybe.
Yeah, I plan on. We were talking about that in the works for next year already in advance. So hopefully, well, no, I'll be going and I'll be going sometime in the fall next year for sure.
We all will.
We all will. Okay, we've got some more, and let's just do this one right now. This person needs zero introduction.
Hi, this is Marcy Carricker Smothers, and instead of sharing my favorite past memory, I am going to share what will be my favorite future memory.
Oh, man.
And that is when I will be one of the very first in line at Disneyland when it's going to open.
Yeah.
As I'm sure many of you LTP listeners will be too. And the moment I get through that turnstile, I'm pretty sure I am going to drop to my knees in front of Mickey and look up at Walt's Railroad Station and just say, thank you, Walt. And I know, as much as I appreciate Disneyland and never, ever take it for granted, I will be seeing it through different, fresh eyes, and it will be the happiest day and the happiest place on earth for me.
And that was hers. And so I contacted Marcy again, and she goes, "Well, I'm on my way I'm on my flight to go to Disney World or whatever." And I go, "I don't care, Marcy. Please record something for us." and so she did that real quick for us. That's not actually how that went down, but that is where she is, and I'm so thankful for doing that. Very well said. Very well said. holy cow. She hit the nail on the head with that. And it's so good timing that was the next one that it's happened to come up, because I remember what she had said, and I go, oh, let's just bring that up.
Well, Marcy is gifted in and being able to put into words what we feel. A lot of us feel. And thank you, Marcy, for doing that. You are truly one of my favorite human beings on the planet, just because of your attitude and how you take everything and how you approach everything. And and when we talk to the park about the park, and you're right. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to walk in, and I think a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of crying, and all out of joy and emotional. Just being taken over emotionally. So you're going to see everybody who goes that day, whether we're there or not, or all of us or none of us or one of us. But I think we're going to be prepared to just see people crying. And it's okay. But thank you for that, Marcy. I look forward to it too. I look forward absolutely. And I feel like I will be right there with you and looking at everything through a fresh angle or perspective or eyes. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. A fresh set of eyes, as Justice said there. Yeah. Well, okay. So, I don't know, there's a lot. We got a few more that are good. Let's go to Becky over here. Becky has something good to say. So here's Becky from, where's she living now? She's Southern California, Central California?
I think Central.
Central, okay.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong, Becky, but I think it's
Who knows?
Central. Yeah.
She's all over the place.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is Becky.
Hey, LTP, it's Becky.
Hey,
I
Becky.
hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to share a memory with you guys, or a highlight of one of my Disney trips. There's so many to choose from, of course, but one that really stands out is around 8th grade time. My family was supposed to plan a trip with my grandma and grandpa. Well, during that time, as we were starting to plan, my grandma ended up getting ill, and she didn't make it, and it actually ended up it was a really hard time. She had a brain tumor, and so we spent a lot of time helping out with her and my grandpa, and it was just a really stressful, hard time, and whatnot. And when she had passed, my grandpa still wanted to do the trip with us grandkids. He felt that it was really important to still go do. So as we're planning it out, my mom sat all of us kids down beforehand and just said, hey, we're going with Grandpa this time. I know we're used to going crazy, but we have to be respectful of him. He's older. We need to take time. We need to let him rest, and we need to be respectful of that. So, of course, all of us kids agreed. We had seen everybody going through a hard time. We were experiencing a hard time. Of course, we wanted to do whatever Grandpa needed. We get to Disneyland, and my grandpa was like a little kid. I mean, we were at the park from rope drop to it closing. We did not miss a parade. We did not miss Fantasmic. We did not miss anything that trip. We rode every ride. We just had a great time. We were laughing. I mean, I remember my grandpa felt like he was sprinting between things to do, and we were just laughing and having so much fun. It was just a wonderful, wonderful trip. And, it's that's what Disneyland's all about. Our family had gone through such a hard time, but it was a place to come together and forget the outside world and forget all the pain and everything that we had just experienced. But we could live in the moment and be a family and be happy and know that life is going to move forward and that it's not always easy, but there are really great moments. So that's just one that really stands out in my mind. Like I said, there's so many to choose from, but when I am thinking back, they all are centered around family and just having those values of forgetting whatever hardship was going on in life at that time and just living in the moment and being happy and seeing each other happy and smile. And that's really to me what it's all about. I really thank you guys for continuing the podcast through everything going on in the world right now. You really have been a big source of joy for me. I know sometimes you go to the hard place or the topics that people don't always want to talk to, or it's out of our comfort zone to deal with. But I appreciate you guys going there. It gives a lot to think about, and just, you know, I don't know. I feel like you guys are my friends, and I really enjoy, you know, bringing you into my life with the podcast. It's really great. So thank you guys. Keep up the great work. Hang in there. And I definitely want to plan a big LTP trip once Disneyland is open and we are out of this lockdown. So please keep that in mind. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I've got the feels going on right now, to be honest with you. Once in a while, it strikes a chord with me. You know, much like how Dan did that time. You know, again, Becky, the pleasure is definitely all ours. To do this stuff. I just, these words that we're hearing, LTP meetup, I guess I'm focusing on the joy you get from the park, and then how we can help contribute to your daily stuff. This thing that a couple of people have said about thanks for doing what you do, for helping us do this. Yeah, you know, it has never been a thought to not do this thing. It's as therapeutic for us as it is for you. Mm-hmm. I can tell you. In a lot of ways, and we will always continue to do this and talk about things. I'm not going to dwell upon them as much as we used to. Well, sometimes we might, but for the most part, we're trying to, you know, push the love forward and create this community here. And I'm thinking Udi wants to say something. So, this is good because Udi's not talking.
When you were, you know, talking about your family and and the loss of your grandmother, it hit me how important family is, and you said that, and as you were telling your story, in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's family, it's family, it's family, and it kept on running in my head, it's family, it's family. And then, you know, that hit me because of the loss that I had in my family. And one of my childhood memories would be going to the park with my family. And to lose a big piece of that suddenly like we did, it really highlighted to me that the feeling I have with the park is the feeling we all have with the park. We said it before and we say it, but every time you guys come through, I swear you guys come through, we talk about it, yeah, we feel like that, and then we think people feel that way, and we can kind of tell, and then here you guys come and you comment, and you guys are exactly like, no, we're not telling you what to say, we know we're just talking, and then you guys come out and you guys say that. So for you to bring that up, and you're right, it is about family, and that is the thing. And like Mark said, we do this so we can kind of get a lot of things out. We talk a lot. Mark and I talk a lot. We all talk a lot. And but the fact that we all connect here and we bring joy, the point is joy and happiness and love and togetherness. And that is what we need more now than ever. And thank you for sharing that, because, again, you're highlighting why we're here. And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, we got to get this LTP trip. We got to get this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now, I mean, we're going to have, why do I have a feeling when, like, we're going to have one or two more people go like, hey, you know what we need to do? And we're going to be like, hey, maybe we need to. Mm-hmm. Maybe we need to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to some other friends. You'll know who they are immediately. Immediately.
Wow.
Hey, LTP crew.
Hey, everyone.
It's Erin and Karina. Getting this to you guys pretty late on Saturday night because we just had Q's 3rd birthday party.
Happy birthday.
And it
I
was
saw that. Happy birthday,
Nightmare
Q.
Before Christmas themed. Yeah. But we just wanted to check in with you guys. You asked us to tell you about our most favorite highlights of a trip we loved, or our favorite trip. And this was actually really hard. Erin and I talked about it for a little bit because there are so many different moments and trips that we really loved over the years. But I think probably, at least for me, my most favorite trip would have been in 2018 when we went for Thanksgiving. And it was Q's very first trip to Disneyland. He was just over 1 at the time, so he was still pretty little. But I think what made it so special is that there was just so much curiosity, and you could see the magic in his eyes, and we really got to experience Disneyland as a family with kids for the first time, and it made it so much more special, I think. Knowing like we're gonna do this for years to come, and just watch him grow to love Disney even more. And I mean, there was a couple of highlights during that trip that were really cool. One of them was, I think I mentioned this before, but we were walking down Main Street and he like pointed at the castle and said Disney. And it was just so sweet and magical that was like the thing that he recognized. And that really made me tear up at the time. And probably my other favorite moment was this moment on Coke Corner where we were waiting for the Christmas parade. And there was and pretzels and a cream cheese pretzel.
That's right, girl.
And the piano player was out there playing music, and Q and Erin went over and they were just dancing and just listening to the music, and it was just so wonderful, and it's really just makes me miss Disneyland even more now, and can't wait for it to open back up. But I really look fondly on that trip. Okay, Erin, your turn.
I'd say one of my favorite trips was when we went in 2011, because it was our last trip to Disneyland before they started like changing everything for Star Wars Land or Galaxy's Edge, because we were out of state and didn't have a chance to go to Disneyland between 2012 and 2015. But there was just, I think ever since Galaxy's Edge, Disneyland has been a different park. Basically, I guess it's in its next stage of life, so to speak. So that was a pretty cool time to go when everything was still kind of the same for us. And then obviously trips with Q and the special moments with the characters, and seeing how much effort they put into making the kids happy and making sure their experience is special and unique every time. And you kind of have to give a shout out and a thanks to the cast members and everyone like that who makes every trip and every moment so special. And I know it's kind of hard with Disneyland being closed and everything like that, but obviously that's stuff that us Disney fans notice every time we go and obviously miss and everything like that. So now that we took it deep, yeah, just can't wait to go back to the parks, and can't wait for Disney trivia to get back going and everything like that.
Yeah.
Miss you guys and everything.
All right, LTP crew. We do miss you. Hope to see you guys all soon. Getting on those trivia nights again.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you later. See you at the parks.
Bye.
I love them.
Yeah, good people, man. I love them. And happy birthday, belated. I know it'll be belated by the time
this comes out.
But happy belated birthday, Q.
Happy, yes.
He's a cute kid, man.
Can't believe he's 3.
3. Yeah, because we met him when he was not even 1, huh? When we first met them.
That's right. Yeah. Has it been that long? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Wow. But yeah, again, the theme rings through. Family. We're all family. We are, and yeah, we miss you guys. And I thought about you the other day, and I'm like, man, we haven't heard anything, and I'm like, this whole COVID thing. I mean, it's affecting everybody. Like I said, we're not sure. I think there are ways it's hidden us where we don't know. We don't see it, and it's creeping in even more now. But yeah, I know we all miss it. We all miss our trivia nights and going and hanging out and drinking, having some food, and just having fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We haven't heard from them, and I was thinking, have they found another podcast?
Mark is getting jealous over here. Like,
no,
never.
No. Well, thank you so much for that, guys.
Yeah,
that was
thank
wonderful.
you.
Great stories.
Yeah. Go.
It hurts to sneeze.
3. Oh, yeah, your ribs.
I'm trying to...
Mark broke his ribs. Mark.
Yeah, I did break my ribs, 2 of them, the 10th and 11th.
And how?
I fell off my bike.
And why?
the why is the big question mark. The why is...
I know. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You weren't listening to me.
Well, yeah, I lost control on my bicycle, my road bike, on a road that I've ridden on 100 times. That I just was not paying attention to something, and I fell myself in a heap of dust in a ditch.
Yep.
That was 3 weeks ago tomorrow.
Literally 10 minutes after I gave you advice on how to avoid that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's neither here nor there. Don't listen to Udi get physically hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, anyway, this next call-in or voicemail comes in from a guy named Nicholas. Now, Nicholas is a listener. Actually, I'm not sure if he listens or not, but he. I follow him on Instagram. He's I'm not sure what his degree is, but I know he used to work at Great America, which is my home park. Like I said, Disneyland, I love Disneyland, but if I'm to pick any home park, it's going to be Great America, just because I was there from day one in 1976. And I will call it Marriott's until I die. But he actually worked there, and I don't know how old he is, but he's young. And anyway, she did some stuff at WDI, I think, as an intern. But he's just got and he did some documentary with another theme park enthusiast on aero development, which is I highly recommend checking it out if you're into theme park stuff. Anyways, here's Nicholas.
Hey, Leaving Today podcast. My name is Nicholas Lasquich, and I have a lot of really great memories to go to theme parks, but one of the ones that stands out the most was I had the opportunity to go to the grand opening day of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland in Anaheim. And it was May 31st of 2019, the very first day, very first time slot for the public, and it was just so exciting to be there with everybody from the general public just going in land for the very first time. As we all crowded in early in the morning on that day and got ready to go into the land, they had a big countdown and everybody flooded in. There was this massive cheering and screaming. And then the most exciting part of it, honestly, other than just being there with everybody and seeing it for the first time in person, was all these Imagineers and Disney creative folks that were lined up along the pathways, high-fiving everybody and clapping, and just seeing all of us excited to be there. And it was, as a theme park professional myself and wanting to really, do this for my whole life, it was just really, really exciting to see their faces, because I want to be in their position. I want to be on their side of the fence, part of designing these amazing attractions and lands, and seeing park guests attend for the very first time. So it was a very, very exciting experience for me, and something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a little different take.
Yeah.
And I like that. Yeah, I mean, I want to have this guy on the show at some point because he, like I said, he worked there for, I think, the summer, and he's a theme park professional.
Right.
I'm not sure what he's doing in there, but I'm sure he's got some cool stories. And I do remember seeing and being envious of people that got to be there opening day for Galaxy's Edge. And I'm glad he got to experience that. I feel like I said, I'm envious and excited.
Yep. No, but very cool. And then having that other perspective of, looking at people and this is where I want to be, and then being able to look at it from the level of understanding what it takes to get there. A lot of people, when we go to the park, and we've said it before, they don't always get the full scope of the magic that happens in there and what it takes to get there. And so for somebody like him, they have a deeper understanding of the actual work that it takes to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very cool. And I love that BTS kind of like figuring out like, okay, well, we thought about this. We made a drawing like that. And then how do we get from drawing all the way through to physical, and having that kind of idea and designing all that is amazing to me too. I mean, I can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know, Mark, you love that too.
I do, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe we can have him on the show too. Yeah.
It'd be a good talk.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 2 more, I think. Yeah. And this guy, we're going to have drinks with on Tuesday.
Oh. We know who that is.
Hey, guys. Hope you're doing well. And really happy that you're doing this episode. We need some positivity right now, for sure. When Mark first messaged me and asked me if I had any special trips or anything, in mind, I kind of got to thinking about it, and I asked my family, and they instantly started throwing out memories. What about the time when this? What about the time when that? And we all started laughing and talking about it and having a good time. But I narrowed down to a couple of brief stories. I don't really have any one particular trip that stands out, but just a couple of individual memories, brief memories. And so my 2 sons are very, very different from each other. My older son is a very sweet, kind person, and the younger one is a more entertaining, funny person. So the older one, I had a couple memories, especially when he was younger. One when he was really young, and he met Buzz Lightyear after they had like a little stage show, and afterward Buzz came out, and he got to shake Buzz's hand, and he was just so ecstatic that he actually met the Buzz Lightyear. And so that's like kind of a sweet memory. And then also him when he was a little bit older, I remember he was still very small and very young, but he was, the whole trip, all he wanted to do was go to the Jedi Academy when they were doing that, when they'd, pull you from the audience and bring them up there and give them a lightsaber and a little Jedi.
Yeah. Very cool.
Robe and everything. And so I have this one picture of him standing up on stage with this tiny little Jedi robe on and standing amongst a bunch of taller kids. And it's just that memory of the littlest Jedi. And so I'm about to get choked up here. And then with the younger one, him being funny and entertaining, we had a couple of memories that one time when he was real small and he had some cotton candy and he put it on his chin like a beard and, was going around pretending he had a beard. And that was just hilarious. And we were having a good laugh about that. Another time when he was looking at the popcorn machines, the popcorn stands. And I think it was the one with Harold in it next to the Matterhorn. But, they've got the little figure in there and they're just cranking away all day, turning the little batch of popcorn. But they've just got this tiny little amount of popcorn. And so I have a video of him. I don't remember how old he was, real small. And he's pretending that he's cranking the popcorn. He's sitting there doing a little motion. And he's, I'm sorry, I can't give you any of my popcorn. I only have a little bit. I only have just enough for me, and that's all they gave me. And there's a big batch of popcorn right over there, and you can have that, but you can't have my popcorn because I only have a little bit. And we all had a good laugh about that. But I was thinking about those stories, and I thought, how can I tell? I mean, how is that of interest to the audience or to anybody else outside of our family? And that kind of struck me that's the beauty of these memories is, here we've got this park that means so much to all of us, and we all kind of share that. But yet, what means the most to us is these individual memories, and it's different and it's personal for each person and each family. And so, these are the memories that mean so much to us, and we think back at them, or we look at the pictures and we laugh and we talk about them, and they have a lot of deep meaning for us. But that doesn't mean anything to anybody else. But that's the beauty of it. It's such a, even though it's something that we all share, it's still something that's so personal, and that's what makes it so wonderful. So I'm sorry that my stories aren't all that entertaining, but yeah, they're very entertaining to us, and we appreciate them. So anyway, that's my couple of words, and let's get together soon and get a beer and some fries or some sort of appetizer, because apparently only bars that serve food are safe to go into. So let's make that happen pretty soon here. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
And we are.
We are doing that.
In 3 days' time.
In 3 days' time,
yeah.
we'll make that happen.
So by the time you hear this, we would have already met you, yeah. But no, again, the theme is there. Yeah. And we get it. I mean, and I love that we keep on going over and over. And here we are, all these different people from all over the place. And look at the theme. Look at it. I mean, it's right here for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Marcus, and actually thank you for everyone so far that has done this, for sharing a little bit of your history, a little bit of your memories with us, because we can all relate a little bit, but it's so fascinating to me to hear what the things you think about and what enters your mind when you think about this. And these memories you have of these kids is just it's absolutely wonderful.
It's going to make Mark cry.
Oh, I've cried a lot about this.
I know. I only give you grief. Out of love.
I know. I think okay, so we're going to wrap up this one. And I know there's a few more coming. I won't tell you who they're going to be from, so I'll jinx it. But we are going to go to Mexico here and talk to our friend Jose. He has something really good to say, I think. Hey, did you know that Jose used to run track?
Yes.
You did know that?
Well, just because I know his Facebook page.
Yeah. And because
I did not.
He has some picture of, I assumed it was him, or on an Instagram or something. I'm like running in a tracksuit or running. I go, Jose, who's that guy? He goes, oh, he said that was him when he used to be competitive or something. I'm like, what? Awesome, dude. All right, so let's see how this plays out.
Hello, LTP crew. It's Jose here.
Hola.
Saying hi. It's always nice to participate in one of the episodes, and these episodes are really special. It's fun listening to them. And answering to this show's topic, I'd say the best visit I've had at the parks will be the next one, and will always be the next one and the next one. I enjoy and learn every trip even more. During the late hundreds, for example, I used to visit park every year with my family, and it was when I began dating my now wife. So every time I went, I wished she was there. Mm-hmm. Then we made that possible later, and they kept being great. I consider those trips a success when we got to ride all the attractions in 1 or 2 days. And watch the fireworks and Fantasmic. A little selfish, I may say now. Then years later and lots of learning later, I really wished we could share the park with my daughter. And it was also during those years when I began joining lots of Disneyland faithful groups and listening to you guys and other podcasts, where you can understand the Disney community as a whole. Listening to cast members' experiences like Jess's or Ken Pellman or Lynn Barron, or the guys from the sweet spot, or the guys from the backside of water. Mm-hmm. And lots of people involved in the creation of the park and keeping it alive day by day. So now, every time I am there, I see every cast member from the trams when we get there until we leave. I see Jess there, or I see Ken, or any other cast member I know the story about. Whether they have been working for decades there or just days, they know how to make you feel like home. I now feel more like home than I felt 10 years ago or the first time I was there. And every podcast episode I listen to or every article I read takes me there as if I visited the park every day. I was already sort of aware of this feeling, but it was not until last night I read that the governor Newsom stating there is no hurry to open, that it really hurt me. It hurt me because of that empathy and love I feel for all the people who make a living of making other people happy, of making unforgettable memories, making magic itself. Whether it is directly being a friend of my daughter's favorite princess or an Uber driver taking you to a park. Mm-hmm. And then it hurts even more when I think of all this is due to political issues. The park needs to be open for the world's sake. Just as most of the situations and moments I am going through as the rest of the world, I like to think about the moment when everything ends and it gets to be as it was, or at least as closer as it was. I don't know when would that happen. Thinking on a date makes me feel like disappointed when that day comes and everything is still the same. That's why I was also thinking last night the amount of tears that will be dropped during the reopening day, both from the visitors and the cast members. I'm not even sure if it will be allowed to hug Mickey Mouse or your favorite character, but just by being there, sharing moments with loved ones and other Disney fans overall, I know many ways of expressing that joy will be shown. That's the reason why my next trip will be my favorite. During my next trip, more than ever, I will appreciate the fact of just being there, sharing moments with my family and with so many people who are eager to live and create magical moments in this world. I will just appreciate living today and entering the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy more than ever. Thanks again, guys, for opening your mics to us, to the LTP listeners, because it's kind of relieving to express the way we feel, which is sometimes the same way you guys feel. Sometimes it's not, but it's good for you guys to let us express this and share it with the rest. And it's nice talking to you guys, and hopefully we'll see you at the parks.
Love it.
Yeah.
I found myself again. Before I go there, thank you, Jose.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you for your continued support, and you've been one of our best support. I mean, for forever, and we appreciate everything you do for us, and we are immensely grateful to you, and everybody who's contributed and everybody who listens. We're grateful. As I'm listening, I found myself nodding along with you, as you're going along, because you put it again. We have everybody, and everybody's building, and we all recognize that. Yeah, I think as we're moving along here, it is in my mind like, yeah, that is going to be the next trip. That is going to be the next best trip. That is going to be the best trip. When we finally get things back that maybe we didn't realize we lost or we took for granted, and not all of us, but there are a few people who have, and we know it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the importance of the deeper meaning. I mean, and you went there, CMs, but not only CMs, the people around the park, around in the city, from the guy who drives you there to the person who, is cleaning up your room, the person who's feeding you dinner, making you dinner or bringing you a drink or any of it. We can go on and think about all of those people and how they all, in one small way or another, contribute to the overall feel of the park, and how the human quality and the human factor is one of the things that make it distinct. If you remove that from that park, it becomes nothing.
Right.
And you're right. And so our sympathy and empathy, and I think why I get mad and I get angry and I can lash out and get frustrated and is there. And I get mad because I recognize how many people are being negatively affected. And we do. And you're right. The world needs a park back. And some people may listen to that and go like, oh, whatever, it's a Disneyland, it's a theme park. And for those people who think that way, I feel sorry for you. Because you're missing the magic of that is out there in the world. Mm-hmm. So you're spot on, buddy. We need the park back, and we need it open because we need to have our place where we can unify and share positivity. And we need it open. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
Yep. Well said, Jose.
Yep.
And Udi for that.
Thank you.
I agree with him. I agree with everyone here.
Oh, yeah.
This is one big love fest.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we need that. And
we do.
And that is everybody saying we need it, and we do. And we do. And that's why I'm glad, and I'm glad we're doing it. I'm glad that, we recognize that last episode was dark, and we went to a couple of, I think Becky said, uncomfortable areas, and we did.
Yeah.
And we never, you guys know we won't run away from those. We run into them, right or wrong, like it or not, we do. But at end of the day, we're all here to be together.
Yes,
and
we are.
Be the family, be the LTP family.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Word
up. You preach, Judy. You preach.
I'm waiting for Jess to be like, word, throw her hands up.
Yep.
I'm not seeing your hands up.
So we'll do more of these. And like I said, we have a few more that are coming in. But I wanted to get this episode out for you guys to listen to. And that goes to anyone who did not send one out. If you feel like you want to, 100% please do it.
Yeah, I'm good with dropping them in as we go on.
Yes.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just feel free that if you want to send us something, we will put it on the show and talk about it. So I'm sure we all have our own memories here. So we're going to talk about those now. Yeah. So I'll start off because I have a few.
Okay.
But I'm going to start off. This goes back to 2003. The first time we took my daughters to the park. Annika was... 5, and Ariel was 2. And it was one day after Winnie the Pooh opened up, so we went on a Friday. But it was back then you buy 3-day park hopper, and you get a 4th day free. And that was back when the tickets were the same price, whether you want to go to one park or a park hopper. So
when they were cheap?
Yes, when they're cheap.
I remember that.
And that was 2003, and it had been, for me, it had been 11 years since I'd been to the park. Crazy. So what happened was we were going to go on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but we got there in the evening on Friday, and we got to the hotel about 7:30. And the thought was, let's just put the girls to bed. Let's get them in the bath and get them ready for bed because we're gonna have like a full day on Saturday. On Saturday, and then I just started thinking, like, wait a minute, it's 7:30, 7:45. You know what we can do? I mean, we were only going to go for 3 days, but we got a 4th day for free. I go, park's up until midnight. Let's just take them now. Let's get them dressed and take them. And so that's what happened. So Friday night we made an impromptu trip over to the park, and it was about 10 minutes before fireworks started, and Ariel was in a stroller at that point. And the things that I remember vividly was filming. I filmed it, and I filmed Annika walking through the tunnel, and from behind, then running up to the side of her, and then filming her coming in. and watching her eyes and amazement of not seeing it, just being like bewildered by everything. And we went right to go. The first thing we wanted to do, I said, we got to go on Big Thunder. It was closed. So the first thing we did was Pirates. And I think about that time now. There's a lot of stories that happened on that trip that I don't want to be, sharing now because it's we're going to spend 2 hours talking about this. But it opened the door. I mean, I think about that now because Ariel, who was 2 in the story, just turned 20 last week. And I can promise you there's not a day that goes by that the three of us don't talk about Disneyland, about something about it. And that was really the gateway for future trips and discussions. And eventually this podcast is what kind of really started this whole thing for me. And then I flash forward to, January 2020, when January 17th, when I got to go to the park with, my friends, Udi, and actually Udi and Jess are more than friends for me. They're definitely family. In addition, I got to go with my daughter, who's 23 now, and my sister, who hasn't been in the park since 1985.
Yeah, how crazy was that, huh?
And I know you guys don't know me all too well, except for what's on the show, but if you can think of someone who's opposite of me, that's my sister in every possible way. She's a high-ranking professional in her field, and she has, no kids, and she travels around the world, literally, and said, well, I don't want to go to Disneyland. I've been to all these places in real life. I go, it's different. So, Annika and I asked Annika, hey, we're going to be the whole day with Carolyn. Can you come up with something that we can all do with her? And she said, okay. And she wrote on a notebook paper everything we wanted to do. It was two-sided. I go, Annika, we can't get through all that stuff. To make a long story short, not only did we get to the park really early for reasons to go on Rise of the Resistance, we got to spend, those moments that I have in my mind of hugging strangers when we got a boarding pass, of being on Haunted Mansion when we got the call to go to Rise of the Resistance. Yeah. This is before my sister got there, getting excited, sitting in the back with Seth, and I said, Seth, don't tell Udi that we got the boarding pass yet, because if we do, he's going to lose his mind. Yeah. And we hadn't even boarded Haunted Mansion yet. We were waiting in line to actually go on the Doom Buggy, and we went on it, and Udi found out because Seth said something, of course, whatever, and crying, literally crying with Udi and Jess after that, and my daughter. I think about that. I think about spending time with my sister the whole flipping day until 11:30, and her and I riding Dumbo, and her asking me, "Hey, what is that castle? A small castle back there that's over by in the trees?" I go, "That's Storybook Canal." She goes, "Is that brand new?" I go, "No, that's been there since 1955." And I go, "Don't ever tell Jess that because she'll lose her mind." And she goes, "Well, can we go on that?" I go, "Yeah." It's like
Hello.
yeah. So we did all these things, and her being scared to go on Guardians of the Galaxy, and then and chickening out. She goes, I don't want to do it. And then the moment it got done, I go, "You want to get back in line?" She goes, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yes. So it's those things that I think about that bring us together. Again, I think about and I've said this before, when Udi and I, in our mid-40s, and we're with Patrick going on, running over to Space Mountain at 9:30 we had a 9:30 fast pass. We got there at like 9:50, closed down, and they give us, a fast pass for something else. The three of us, well, actually, Udi and I are running across the Esplanade to go on Incredicoaster. Yeah. And here we are. We shouldn't be doing this, but those are things that I think about when I'm feeling bad, and how it brings us all together. And like I said, and to a note update on that, my sister texted me the other day saying, "Hey, I had a dream about Disneyland, and I want to go back." And I go, any time that it's open again, welcome. You're definitely welcome. Yeah. The water's warm. So those are memories I have, and it's been like a bonding experience for us. For me and my daughters, absolutely 100%. Mm-hmm. And then, again, with my LTP family, they're not my LTP family, but Jess and Udi are my family. So, Yeah, and I like I said, I look forward to making more memories on the next trip. Like, we get to go to dinner with Jacob. We get to see Fernando. We get to go see. Hopefully, we get to see Sam Carter.
Yeah,
and hang out with him.
Yeah.
And Seth will come up from San Diego, and then Becky and maybe we'll be there when Laura's there with her family and get to say hi to her.
Yep.
So those are things I think about.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all you, Udi.
All me?
Yep.
I'm gonna basically parrot what Mark said. The park means a lot to everybody, and Mark has kind of brought it up too, that we all have our memory, and for some people it may not mean that much, that individual memory, but when we all put it in the context of the park, we all get it. And that is the fond trips I'm going to have are those, because I'm with my family. Not, me growing up to the park, growing up and going to the park as often. Now I realize it took, how many years for me to figure out, hey, you were lucky. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get it back then. And so a lot of the memories I could have formed or should have formed, or however you want to put it, as a kid, I don't have that many, because my mind wasn't there. But now, the things I do remember are like going back in high school after moving up here, moving away, and then having an opportunity to go back in high school and remember walking the park. And a lot of people that we went with, a lot of people that were in, school, it was a school trip. They hadn't been there as much. And I remember, kind of helping people out, because I'm like, you guys, I've been here once. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, how many times have you been here? I don't know. What do you mean? I literally don't know.
No.
And they would be like, no way. And I'd have to tell, you grew up down here. I'm like, yeah. But anyway, but yeah, the bigger ones now, and I said it before, a lot of where I am in my life right now is because of the park, and is because of this show and everybody that I've met. My current field. If I wouldn't have been doing a podcast dedicated to Disneyland, I would have never met Joe. Never met it with Joe.
True.
Never would have gone to work. Never been in where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be making good money and working my tail off every day. But it's okay. It's worth it. And then meeting people, meeting Ken, meeting Fernando. I met Fernando.
Lucky.
Well,
these two guys.
Meeting Fernando, meeting Jacob. And
Marcy there too.
And Marcy,
although we didn't meet her there.
Yeah, and then we met up with her there.
Yes.
And Ken and Seth and everybody, meeting the guys from Backside of Water. I mean, I can't believe that here we are 4 years later, and this is where my life has come.
Yeah.
And because of the park, and again, if people don't get it, I don't know how to help you, other than come and open your eyes and open your heart to what it is. Mm-hmm. And so, my favorite trips are all of them combined in this massive thing of happiness and joy, and then that now trying to focus in on that and take that positivity and push it forward to when we can go again. And then I think that will probably be, other than January, because that one was pretty epic. That trip, I mean, no way around that trip is epic.
True.
When I think about that trip, think about everything we did. Think about who we met. I mean, you think about that one trip.
Yeah.
That one trip, until now, if someone told me you need to pick one, that is the one.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I think, because a lot of things could have gone wrong.
Yeah, and they
didn't. And nothing went wrong that day. Nothing went wrong.
Everything went like clockwork. And I'm like, and we had probably one of the most epic days at the park I've ever had in my life. Agreed. And that is my top favorite. But no, I really, really honestly think that when we get back in, that trip will be the one where we really feel that tidal wave of emotion, because I think we'll feel home.
Well, it was our last trip.
Yeah.
That we didn't know would be your last.
Yeah, and that is that one too. And how we're going to... I guess maybe that is going to be pretty epic on that level too, because, Jess, you brought that up. That was our last trip. Mm-hmm. And then now we're going to come back. Think about that. in the timeline of going to the park, we are now looking at 2 epic trips back to back. Sure, separated by who knows how long.
Right.
But it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
So, yeah, that trip to me is epic. Meeting everybody we've met, Patrick, getting him to go on Splash, man.
Yeah.
I will still remember that. Oh, man. Because I sat right behind him. And so I was right there with him the whole way. And, I mean, memory after memory with my family and then my LTP family and all you guys. I mean, they're all connected, and we're all connected. So, yeah, I want to say that would probably be my favorite one because of everything we're able to do and all the people I got to meet that trip and how great everybody. I mean, everybody was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jess?
Well, it's tough because I shouldn't have let you go before me.
I was waiting. I was gonna.
Well, no, because it's accurate. Like the 60th was a huge trip, and it was very memorable.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
loved it,
Yeah.
and it was great. But it's like a collective of memories. There's not just one specific, especially for me since I work there.
Yeah.
It's harder for me to pick out, like to pull memories and be like, yeah, this stood out above the rest. Because I can't. There's no way that I can pick one specific trip, especially when we go 4 or 5 times a year. A lot of it becomes routine, and it's just an escape. And we're not looking. Of course, we're making new memories, but we don't set out to like top the last trip. It's
Right.
just this is, it's kind of our daily life.
What we do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yep.
So, I mean, January is again, that's a special trip. But for me, I mean, I could give 2 poops about Rise, even though it's a great attraction and it's awesome. But that for me, that's a memorable trip because that was our last, and not knowing it was our last, and not knowing when we're gonna go again makes that trip stand out.
Right.
So,
Yep. And, and I think about, you, and I think about how many cool things you've done in that park.
Exactly.
And yeah, you think about it and you're like, man, it's really cool, but how do you pick one out?
You can't.
It's hard. It's there's so many things, and there's so many things that I've done, and the people that I've gone with or the people that I've met. It's just you can't just pick one.
No.
Yep. And I think overall, I mean, that if anybody gets a takeaway from this episode will be that. I mean, that it isn't maybe one thing but it is one park that brings us together. Even though we can come at it from how many different angles, and that adds to the beauty of the park.
Right.
Look at how many people, how different are we all in what we do, how we live, and what we like and whatnot. But here we are all, around the park and all there for the same reason. And all from a different angle, but there for happiness and joy, and to spread that out to other people. Yeah, everybody that spoke again. Thank you guys 1,000,000%. That is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all of you built that up as we moved along, and just like I said, we think about it, we talk about it, but then you guys are the ones that come back and then reaffirm everything that we think and we say. And you come back and go like, nope, you guys are right. And, yeah. So thank you for that.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm glad we did this. I think we all needed it. I think we all need we need a collective, reminder of what we have and what we're going to get back to. And maybe give us a pointer, a direction, a North Star, that is where we need to go. And, yeah, I'm glad. Again, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, LTP family, for sharing your thoughts and memories with us.
Yeah, and for everybody new who hasn't chimed in before, thank you guys. And please Do it more often.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, I can tell you, just I'm speaking for the three of us, we feel closer to you guys by doing all this stuff, and we want to hear more and looking forward to making more memories with you guys. Because, like you said, as Jess said, you're not going to outdo it your previous trip. Every trip has a new experience. Something that happened that was odd, that was fun, that was like, oh, that thing happened then, and it could be a conversation you had in line. It could be your reaction to an interaction. It could be me losing my mind over a $37 drink, and it could be Udi and I spending an hour eating breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun morning.
Yeah, that was a fun morning. Or it could be, going from shop to shop, waiting for Udi to decide on 2 or 3 different Haunted Mansion shirts that he wanted to buy.
Yep.
And like, we just
happened.
Doing that. It could be walking past Jungle Cruise and, hey, there's only a 5-minute wait. We're
walking in.
We're walking in, impromptu. It's all these things and more. And so, again, thank you so much for doing that with us, and we will do more.
Definitely.
And so coming up in a couple of weeks, we're going to do another show, maybe an interview. Maybe I can get Michael Disney on the show, or maybe Nicholas can come on the show. We can talk to them real quick. Not real quick. Just talk to them about sharing stuff, because really until the park opens up again. Right now is a great time to share and to learn from other people. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably kick off the attractions history thing again. I know I said I was going to do that, and I got to 3 of them and I stopped. But I might do that again. All right. So again, if you want to leave us a comment or a rating on Apple iTunes, please do that. Please feel free to do that if you're so inclined. It helps out. If you want to contribute to the show, go to Patreon on leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, and you can do whatever it is you like, and then you can be on the show. And that being said, Laura, you need to be on the show.
Yes.
You need a topic.
And
Jennifer, you need to be on the show.
And
Dan.
you are long overdue, man. If you were like, a Bill, we'd be coming after you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jennifer, you need to be on the show. And then Jonathan on the East Coast, you need to be on the show.
Yeah, we got people. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, waiting to hear what your topic is. All right. Jess, where can people find out about you?
Let's see here. My Facebook is Jessica Farfan. The podcast Facebook is Leaving Today Podcast. What?
You didn't say it.
Why would I say it again?
No, I don't know, because I don't know. I was waiting for it.
It's a one-time thing.
Okay.
Oh, the offer is now null and void.
Yeah.
Over.
You had that option.
You guys,
had that
everybody, done. All right, expired. Go
Nice
ahead.
Let's see. My Facebook is Jessica Farfan. The podcast is Leaving Today Podcast. 2 words, Leaving Today Podcast. My Instagram is Storybook Jess. My Snapchat code is on there somewhere down at the bottom, and I do not tweet.
Noted. All right. Udi, for more witty banter.
You can find me on all of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all AHAXGOALI, even though I don't tweet that often. I'm mostly on Instagram. Then you can find me on my other podcast, The Mando Show. We are ramping up for Season 2, Hercules. And that one, The Mando Show, that is me, Joe of the DU, and many other. He's like got 20 million podcasts. I know you're going to hear this. So 20 million.
Yeah.
And then my good friend Chad, our Mandalorian. That is why we are superior to more other Mandalorian podcasts, because we actually have a Mandalorian on ours. And then my brother. And that is rounds out the crew over there. And so you can find me over there also.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. To contact the show, send an email. It's info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. So send your audio clips there, and we'll get them on the show. Awesome. That was me begging. Or Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. And that is it. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We love you, and we do appreciate you.
Yep.
And look forward to more of this and meeting you guys in person sometime soon. Until then, adventurers out there, and we'll see you in the parks.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now in its
It'll take me a second before I get there. I set myself up for that, and I'm recording, so it's all going in there.
Oh yeah, you want to try it? Try it.
Let me get this horseradish
Okay.
out of my mouth first.
Okay.
Somebody take these. How many of these?
Mark.
No.
They're going in the trash.
Mark.
My body's just stiff.
We'll give it a bit.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay. Woo! Good?
You're welcome.
Hit it and quit it.
Bam! Oh, what?
My mouth hurts.
And every time I look at it, it makes me cry a little bit on the inside. It really does.
You are out of control. I didn't make those drinks strong enough, but you guys are lagging because I already finished and I'm on my White Claw. Don't you even. You keep your hands off my Reese's.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.